Welcome again, children, in your geography class. Water is an important natural resource which not only satisfies basic human needs for domestic purposes but also used for irrigational purposes, industrial as well as transport purposes. So, children, our today's topic is water resources. Children, we know that Earth is known as a watery planet because 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. That is why it is also known as a blue planet. Children, about 97% of the Earth's water supply is in the oceans or in the seas, and we all know that this water is not fit for human consumption as it has high salt content. Of the remaining 3%, 2.3% is locked in the polar ice caps. The balance 0.7% is available as fresh water, but 0.66% is groundwater and rest 0.3% is available to us as fresh waters in rivers, lakes and streams. What are the sources of water? Sources of water are the surface water and the groundwater. What is surface water? Surface water is available on the surface of the earth in the form of rivers, lakes, ponds and canals. However, rivers comprise the most important source of surface water, and children, India is blessed with a large number of major, medium and small sized rivers. So, if we look towards India's map, we have two types of river systems in India, Himalayan river system and the peninsular river system, children. So, we have already done the rivers. Himalayan rivers are the perennial river that flows throughout the year because their source is from the glacier, whereas the peninsular plateau rivers are seasonal in nature because they depends upon the rainfall. So, they carry no or very little water in the dry summer season. So, the sources of water is available in the form of surface water, and surface water comprises of streams, river, lakes, wetlands, oceans are also related to water collecting as groundwater or atmospheric water. Surface water is naturally replenished by precipitation and naturally lost to discharge to evaporation and subsurface. Next, we'll be talking about the groundwater, children. What is groundwater? The water from precipitation, that is in from rain or snow, flows on the surface. Some of the water evaporates and the rest sink into the soil. The water which get collected under the surface of the land is known as groundwater, which remains in the soil, subsoil or bedrock. An underground water stream that is saturated with water and transmits water readily is known as an aquifer. So, what is an aquifer? That is an underground water and that is transmitted with the help of the pores of the rocks, and water transmit into it, and then water is filled in the aquifer under the rocks is known as a aquifer. The distribution of groundwater is very uneven in India. Children, we have already done that. This is the reason is because of varied geographical features, varied topography, subsurface geology is also different, and the prevailing climate is also different in from one region to another region. We all know what is topography. Topography means the terrain. So if we talk about India, we have different type of terrain. We have hilly regions also, plateau region also, plain areas also, children. So we all know in plateau and hilly regions the groundwater will be less because the rocks are non-porous in nature, whereas its availability, the groundwater will be more in the plains as well as in the coastal areas of India. Even climate also plays an important role for maintaining the groundwater. Children, we all know wherever the rainfall will be more and porous soil will be there, soil is absorbing water and rainfall is also more, groundwater quantity and quality will also be good on those areas. As I've already said, like in the plain areas of India, the northern plains as well as the coastal plains of India, because both of them have a alluvium soil, alluvial soil with them, so that is why they are rich in the ground water. Water is a natural resource. It is replenished itself by nature. Then why do we need to conserve water? Because demand for water is continuously increasing in India due to increase in population. Then because of increase in population, we need more water for irrigation also, so that because with the help of irrigation only farmers are able to grow different crops in agriculture field, and they are able to fulfill the requirement of the countrymen for the food requirement particularly. So that is why they need more water for irrigational purposes also. As well as in India, industries are also growing at alarming rate. They also need water for their processing. Then urbanization is also increasing year after year. Many people want to live in the urban areas, and in urban areas we all know more facilities are required by the people, not only for their household work, for in the other sectors also, educational centers also, health centers also, medical centers also. Then they need the water for recreational purposes are also there. So that is why more water is being utilized. And in India, wastage of water is one of the biggest problem in India, that people waste the water for different activities like providing water in the lawns or parks, or washing the cars, etc. So wastage of water is also there. Many water resources like rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. are getting polluted because people not only bathe in the rivers, washing is also done by them, as well as industries also discharge their pollution, their effluents also into the water. Overuse of water has also resulted in the lowering of the water table in many regions. Global warming has led to climatic changes. This has resulted in the repeated droughts in several countries, and India is also the part of it, particularly the northwestern parts of our country. The loss of vegetation caused the reduction of rainfall, and that also lower the water table, particularly in the desert areas of India. Scarcity of vegetation will also lead to the reduction in the rainfall, and then that will also lead to the lowering the water table. Irrigation utilizes more than the total of the fresh water, because with the help of canals the water is being given to the agriculture field, and that water is from the rivers, water is going to diverted into the canals, and canals are going to supply water to the agriculture field. And we all know, children, is an agrarian country. 65% population is directly or indirectly dependent on agriculture, and agriculture needs water, and water is provided with the help of irrigation by the help of canals, wells or tube wells. So that will also lead to the led to the problem of overutilization of water in the different areas, and that is why we need to conserve. What are the different conservation practices that are used in India to manage the water resources? So, we are using rainwater harvesting, adopting water saving technologies, encouraging watershed management development, and water recycling, and preventing the pollution of water that we can use for the conservation practices in India, and we are using also in different parts of India. We will study all these methods in a detailed manner one by one. And let's see what is rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is the process of collecting the rainwater which used to run off from the rooftops, parks, roads and tanks, and also it is recharged to the groundwater to reuse the water. Instead of letting the rainwater to run off and go waste, it is stored and used for future purpose. The other activities aimed at harvesting and conserving surface and groundwater, prevention of loss through evaporation and seepage, other hydrological studies and engineering inventions aiming at most efficient utilization of rainwater towards the best use for the humanity. Let's see the rainwater harvesting with the help of this video.
Rainwater harvesting. India, which is home to 16% of the world's total population, has access to only 4% of the world's total water resources to fulfill its water needs. This limited supply could easily deplete further or be made unusable by overutilization and population. Therefore, the need of the hour is water conservation, or what is referred to as water harvesting. Water harvesting encompasses all the different methods of conserving and collecting rainwater. One such method is rainwater harvesting, and another is recharging groundwater. Rainwater harvesting involves either collecting the rainwater directly or recharging it to the ground to improve groundwater storage. And how does rainwater harvesting benefit us? It raises the groundwater level, checks rainwater flow, which prevents soil erosion, prevents rainwater pollution, and helps meet water demands during the dry season. And all of this can be accomplished with nothing more than house rooftops to collect the water and small PVC pipes to channelize the water into underground pits and sumps. Recharging groundwater is the modern version of rainwater harvesting. In this, pits, trenches and dug wells are constructed to collect water. The collected water then feeds and raises the level of groundwater. Did you know that rainwater harvesting is an ancient Indian tradition dating back to 4500 BC? Yes, in fact, it has been practiced for hundreds of years in Assam, Karnataka, Gujarat and Rajasthan. This ancient tradition was given a much needed impetus by the Government of India with the formulation of the National Water Policy, a policy that provides for the optimum and judicious utilization, management and conservation of India's water resources. The aim of this policy is to link river basins and then transfer water from one basin to another for the optimum use of the available water. The National Water Policy also exhorts the general public to assist the government in its mission to conserve water so as to minimize our water woes.
Rainwater harvesting in India. This mechanism is known by different names in different parts of the country, like Khatri in Western Himalayas, Baolis in Gangetic Plains, Johats in Central India, and Bhandaras in Deccan Plateau region of. Need of water harvesting in India. In India, we have acute shortage of water during this year. The annual rainfall in India is 1170 millimeter. Children, this is higher as compared to the world, that is 800 millimeter. We all know that Cherrapunji receives the world highest rainfall in the world, that is 11,000 millimeter rainfall annually. Then also, children, it suffers with acute shortage of drinking water. What is the reason for this? The reason is that in India, rainfall occurs only for a short spells short duration, but the intensity is very high. So, because of such an high intensity and short duration, what happens? The most of the rain falling on the surface tends to flow away rapidly, leaving a very little recharge of the groundwater. Now, why it happens? Children, we all know that this is a hilly area and rainwater flows down because of the hill slopes. So, the water collection is not there. So, that is why most of the water is wasted. This makes most part of India experiences lack of water. Even for the domestic purposes, they are not able to maintain that water level. So that is why need of water harvesting in India is the need of the hour. So what are the other requirements that we need to recharge the groundwater? That is, recharging the groundwater will definitely raise the groundwater level also. Checking the rainwater from flowing away, that will also prevent soil erosion as well as it will control floods also. Checking the rainwater for becoming polluted, that is also one of the reasons that if you want to maintain a pure underground water, then also it is very, very important. Meeting the demands of the water requirement, particularly in the dry seasons in those areas where there is a shortage of water, rainwater harvesting is the best technique. So that is why that is a need of the hour for India for the rainwater harvesting. Next is water harvesting mechanism in India. What are the elements of water harvesting? They are catchments, conduits, recharge facility, storage facility, etc. What is irrigation? Irrigation is the process of supplying water to agriculture field or to the crops by means of canals, wells, reservoirs, tube wells and other artificial methods is known as irrigation. So children, when we talk about supplying water to agriculture field or to the crops in the field, there are two methods, the traditional methods and the modern methods. Based on the availability of surface and groundwater, relief, soils and climatic conditions, different means of irrigation are utilized in India. The traditional means or the conventional means of irrigation include wells, tanks, canals and tube wells, etc. The modern methods of irrigation include drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, spray irrigation and furrow irrigation. What is the need of irrigation in India? Children, as I have already said that 65% population is directly or indirectly dependent on agriculture, and we all know children that water is a natural resource, no doubt, but the water is available in the form of rainfall, right, and it is supplied to the agriculture field naturally, but rainfall is not available throughout the year. So that is why we need to support our crops, our agriculture fields. So that is why the artificially supplying water is very, very important, and that is only possible by the human effort. So that is why irrigation is required in India. There are so many other reasons also children that we need irrigation. Number one is that India, the rainfall is uncertain, right? So what is the meaning of uncertain? It is the rainfall period, that is from June to September, is not on time. Sometime the rainfall is early, and whenever the early rainfall occurs, means before time, it creates flood conditions in the country, and whenever it is delayed, droughts occur in the country that leads to water scarcity and we need for the withering of the crops. So irrigation is the only means to supplement the rainwater to raise the crop production, to increase the crop production. What is the other requirement? Because in India, distribution is uneven. Rainfall distribution is also uneven. Children, we have done in the climate chapter that some areas of India, like in Mausinaram, Cherrapunji, these areas receives more than 200 centimeters of rainfall. The western slopes of Western Ghats also receive more than 200 centimeters of rainfall. But simultaneously, the desert areas of India, like the Thar Desert and the upper parts of the northern areas of India, like Jammu and Kashmir, these areas receive less than 50 centimeters of rainfall. So rainfall is less, so we need water for the crops for their better protection. So that is why we need irrigation. What is the other reason? For crop requirement, we in India, we are having a multiplicity of crops. What do you mean by the multiplicity? Means in India is growing kharif crops also, rabi crops also, zaid crops also. So we all know that kharif crops are grown in the monsoon season, rabi crops are grown in the winter season, and zaid are the vegetables that are grown both in rabi and the kharif. So that is why for the requirement of these crops throughout the year, we need water, as rainfall is available only for the limited period of time. So that is why we need irrigation. As we all know that India, particularly in Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, these areas are using the high yielding varieties of seeds, right? Because these areas having a very fertile soil, so the high yielding varieties of seeds are used. What is the benefit of high yielding varieties? That give maximize the production of the crops. To maximize the production of the crops, the high yielding varieties of seeds are used. And these crops are grown also in a short period of time. They give the harvest in a short period of time. So these crops need water time to time, right, for their better production. So that is why we need irrigation. The commercial crops are also grown in India, particularly sugarcane, cotton in the southern areas of India. These crops also require frequent irrigation, right? So that is why we need irrigation to maximize, to increase our production, so that the commercial crops are particularly grown for the profit purpose, so that the more and more profits can be earned by selling of these crops. Because this growing of these crops, the major agenda is to earn maximum profit, right? So that is why these crops are also grown, and these crops need more water. Timely water requirement is there at the time of their maturity, also at the time of the sowing of the seeds, at the time of their growth also. So that is why we need irrigation. Next is nature of the soil. The nature of soil in different parts of India is also different, as we have done that India has different relief features and different types of rocks are found in different areas. So if we talk about the plain areas, fertile alluvium soil is there, and children, that need less water as it is water retentive, as well as same is applicable for the black soil. Black soil is also clay in nature. It can retain moisture for longer period of time. So that is why it does not require frequent irrigation. But on the other hand, children, sandy soil, red soil, these soils are less moisture retentive, and as they are sandy in nature and they absorb more and more water, so that is why they need frequent irrigation or frequent watering. Similarly, the nature of terrain also require the different amounts of rainfall. Like if we talk about the level and the lowland areas, plain areas, low-lying areas, gentle slope, these require less water, right, because the soil is fertile, the soil is clay in nature, so it needs less water for irrigation. But on the other hand, the highland areas, the hilly areas, the plateau regions, because the rocks are hard in these areas, so they are non-porous in nature, so these areas require frequent irrigation for the crop requirement. This is also applicable for the desert soil also, that need more water as it is porous in nature. So these areas require frequent irrigation for the. As the nature of river in India is also different, we have already done in the climate chapter that the peninsula plateau rivers and the Himalayan rivers, two river systems in India are there. The Himalayan rivers are perennial in nature, so they are able to provide water throughout the year. So they can also provide irrigation with the help of canals and dams. Whereas if we talk about the peninsula plateau region rivers, they are seasonal in nature, so they are not able to provide water throughout the year for irrigation also. So we have to need the alternative for the southern plateau region. How can we give water for the rabi season or with the kharif season if the water is not available with the help of rainfall, and the rivers are also seasonal? So that is why we have to make an alternative for providing the irrigation to the agriculture field, and that is why particularly in the peninsula plateau region the tanks have been built so that they can provide water during the time of need. As well as we talk about India, in the particularly in the northern India, the rabi season, if we talk about during the time of December, January, February particularly, the rainfall is very less and the rabi crops need water, so we have to provide the irrigation facility in the agriculture field. So there is a wide disparity in the water flow from year to year because rainfall also vary from one year after the another year. So that means we have to provide the irrigation facilities time to time and for growing different crops in the country. Rivers of central India and the southern India, they only provide water during the monsoon season. As I've already said, they are seasonal in nature, but we need water throughout the year for growing our crops. So we have to make an alternative, and then the irrigation facility must be provided to the agriculture field to increase the agriculture production. Another reason for the need of irrigation in India to maximize the agriculture production, that is very necessary. Why? Because we have a large number of people. India is the second populated country in the world after China, and to means fulfill the demand of the large countrymen, to provide the food grains to all the countrymen, we need to maximize the agriculture production. That is only possible with the help of irrigation. So children, if we talk about the agriculture scientists are talking about the production of irrigated crop is more than that of the unirrigated crops in the same area. For example, same area, if the irrigation facilities are provided to the crop, the agriculture production will be more. But if same area, if the irrigation facilities are not provided, the crops are going to destroy, damage. They will not be able to survive without the water, and it will lead to less agriculture production. So irrigation provides producer with the availability of apply water to their crops when they need it to the most. For example, if we are talking about the kharif crops, we all know that you can see in the picture the rice crop is grown, and rice need a stagnant water in the agriculture field, and if the rainfall is not there, definitely we have to provide water to the agriculture field. So that is only possible with the help of the irrigation facility, either by tube wells or by canals. That we have to look towards the terrain of the area, and according to that the irrigation is provided to the agriculture field. So irrigation has been an important agricultural technology with strong impact on the crop productivity. So if we talk about irrigation, is not only means necessary, it is very much require to fulfill the countrymen's requirement, as well as to means increase the production in the agriculture, as well as to increase our export also. That is only possible with the help of the irrigation. Children, there are different means of irrigation, as we have already done the traditional and the modern means of irrigation. First, let's talk about the traditional means of irrigation. They are wells, tanks, tube wells and canals, children, and they are also known by the name the conventional methods of irrigation. First, we will be talking about the wells. What is a well? A well is a small hole dug in the surface of the earth to obtain water from the subsoil for irrigation and some other purposes, that means for domestic purposes, for drinking purposes, right? Children, wells is an important source of irrigation in India because it is cheap, cost effective, as well as it is a dependable source of irrigation. That means the independable source of irrigation. Every farmer having his own well in the agriculture field so that it can utilize whenever it is required. Whenever the water is required, the water is taken from the well and the farmer is able to supply in his agriculture field. So it is a dependable source also. It is cost effective also because its construction cost is not high. Where is well irrigation popular in India? It is popular in the northern plains, particularly Bihar, UP, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Goa, Gujarat, Maharashtra, in the southern areas, etc. So when we talk about the well irrigation, there are different ways to lift the water from the well, and there is a Persian wheel method that is particularly popular in Punjab, Haryana and western UP. Then lever method is there, that is popular in Bihar and Andhra Pradesh. With the help of the bucket, the water is taken. So these two methods are there. What are the advantages and disadvantages of well irrigation? Children, advantages I have already said, like well is a dependable source of irrigation. It is cost effective source of irrigation. Farmers can provide water to the agriculture field whenever they want to, when the crop requirement is there. But what are the disadvantages of well irrigation? That it is, some of the wells will dry up during the summer season. They are not, means the perennial wells, they are unlined wells, so they cannot supply water throughout the year, and wells can only supply water to the small agriculture field. They are not able to provide water to the large agriculture field. So they are having advantages and disadvantages both. Next we will be talking about the tube wells. What is a tube well? It is a deeper than the well, and the depth of the tube well, the water that is taken lifted up, will be 20 to 30 meter with the help of a driven pumps to be used by men. So that means the pumps are used and then the water is being lifted, right? And that means the electricity supply is must. If the electricity supply is not available at cost effectively, it is not available, then tube wells will be costly to provide water, and it needs availability of plenty of, means groundwater is required. And what type of groundwater is required, children? That should be sweet water is required. Brackish water, if underground water is brackish in nature, so that is not effective for irrigation, not at all for the drinking purposes. So sweet underground water is required for the tube well irrigation. Tube well irrigation, children, is generally popular. Wells and tube wells both are popular in the gentle slope land where the soft soil is soft in nature and they are easy to dug, and their digging cost is also less, cost effective. So that is why tube wells and wells both are constructed in the plain areas, level slope land, gentle slope land that is available in the plain areas, particularly from Punjab to Bihar. Their tube well and well irrigation is very popular as underground water is also sweet. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of tube well irrigation? Tube well, the advantages are, tube well is also an independable source of irrigation. It can provide adequate water for irrigation. Particularly, it is suitable for the large tracts of land as compared to the wells. Irrigation through tube well greatly increases agriculture output because they are used in the large tract of land where mechanized type of farming is used, so that can enhances the agriculture productivity. It is easier to bring large amount of water in a short time because a power driven pump is used, and with a short span of time a huge amount of water is being taken out. But there are some disadvantages also, because the large number of water is being taken out at a time, so it leads to the depletion of groundwater reserves. Tube well is used indiscriminately. The groundwater reserves may get exhausted with a short span of time. It is expensive because it needs a readily supply of electricity. So they are costly if the electricity charges are more. It is useless if the water is brackish in nature. If the water is salty in nature, having lot of salt content in it, then it cannot be used for irrigation purposes, not for irrigation and not for the drinking purposes also, because a lot of salt content will provide the water is not used for the irrigation, because lot of salt content is there and it will destroy the crop. So these are the disadvantages of the tube wells, right? Next, children, here let me conclude. We have already done today, we have done the meaning of irrigation, need of irrigation development in India, and the different conventional methods of irrigation. With this, let me conclude, children. Thank you and have a nice day.